Sweet. All right. So now, welcome to the Wonton Wednesday podcast. Emily, Keddie, um, professional. I don't know what you do, but we're here to talk snacks, cheeses, and conspiracy theories, I believe. And if I'm wrong, feel free to do anything else you'd like because this is very open. And the only thing you
Okay.
told me about is I don't want to talk about my training program. And I'm like, we could do that.
I mean, we can talk about that. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever you want to hear about.
I don't care. We'll just see where it takes us. So let's start with snacks because I know you posted a picture of a pocket baguette, and I was like, that's not a bad idea. And then my mind started spinning, and I'm like, I also like salamis, and I also like cheeses. So at what point do I just say screw it and make a pocket sandwich with that baguette, my salami, and cheeses?
I highly recommend. Yeah, I actually, that was not the first time that I've had a pocket baguette, but I went on a solo trip in the Sierra one time backpacking, and I packed out a really nice bottle of red wine, because I just think that if you're gonna drink nice red wine, it should be in like the nicest possible place. So, I backpacked out
Seems a
with
bad
that.
idea.
Yeah, and then like a full length baguette, and a bunch of meats and cheeses, and that was food. Um, but yeah, I'm a big fan of high quality snacks and eating well in the backcountry. So
I'm a fan of doing that everywhere, so I also agree.
yeah, not limited to the outdoors or in the wild, but yeah, no, I'm big on eating in general. Uh, I do a lot of it. I like to eat. It's very rewarding. And I love snacks. Like I've always had this snack fascination, like new like going on a road trip and pulling into a new gas station because you're in a different state and they have a different like gas station chain or something. Like I'm always just perusing the snack aisle and looking at all the different candy and things. Yeah, I love it. Very snackish.
Yeah, that is one of the great things about my job, traveling around everywhere and just going, what's this? I've never had it before.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, through December and January, I was in Mobile, Alabama. That was an
Mhm.
experience. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. And I got to try Whataburger while I was down there. And I was just like, oh, it's a burger.
Whataburger.
All right.
I've never had Whataburger.
It
Oh,
was a hamburger. And I'm gonna just throw my 2 cents in this whole fire of In and Out, Whataburger, Five Guys. I think I've had Five Guys the most, and I thoroughly enjoy that one. And it's been a while since I've had In and Out, so I probably have to have that one again to give it a full comparison. But I remember I enjoyed In and Out quite thoroughly. But Whataburger, I just kind of went, okay, it was a burger.
yeah. I don't know. The whole burger thing, like we have Five Guys here in Bend, and I've had In and Out a couple times. It's like all over the East Coast. People go crazy about it. And it's fine. And the other big thing in Bend, I mean, the smash burger is like there's food trucks just dedicated to the smash burger, and I don't think it's that great. I really love just like a classic like hand formed hamburger, like the thick ones, like my dad used to cook on the grill. Or you'd get like at a picnic. Are you having a hamburger or a hot dog? A hamburger. Do you want cheese? Yeah. Here's your sides. Like just a nice, big, fat, meaty hamburger. That's
I'm
my
about to
favorite.
blow your mind with this next statement. So, previously, about a few years ago, I was married, been divorced now. But early on in that relationship, I got very drunk one day and I started complaining about hamburgers not having actual ham in them. Yes, I know how they were actually named. And so I started making hamburgers and I would cut up capicola and just mix it all through in with some spices and mustard. It,
Ooh.
trust me on that part. Whole grain mustard, not yellow mustard. So mix in
Yeah.
your spices, your mustard with the ground beef, and cut up your capicola really good, and and then make your patties, and then grill that as your burgers.
Wow.
It's going to
That
change your
sounds
mind about some.
that sounds great. No, people out here don't eat a lot of capicola. It was a big thing. It was a big thing back east, but I never see it.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I will say that it is definitely way more in the Italian areas. Like as soon as you get past Chicago, it's a lot harder to find.
Oh yeah, we don't have a ton of good. There's not a lot of good Italian food out here. I really want like just like the Buffalo area had such great Italian food. Um, and that's all I want. It's just like a simple. We have like upscale Italian, but not like ravioli and lasagna and chicken cacciatore and like all the good stuff. Chicken parm.
Oh, a nice chicken parm here, it always hits the spot. So then that means they don't have chicken parm pizza either.
No. Or chicken finger subs. Oh my God, it's such a tragedy. Um, yeah,
No, you want to
pizza.
know a tragedy? Pizza Wings and Things is gone.
What?
Yeah, the guy that owns it decided he had enough of New York State's taxes and he moved to Florida. He sold the business, and now it's a substandard taco shop.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
I
Jeez.
know.
What about is Lena still there?
Lena's is still there, yes.
I used to work there. I used to make pizza.
Nice. No, I used to work at the Bomber House, which is no longer there.
Oh, yeah, that's not there either. What about like BJ's?
BJ's will never go away.
Thank God. Oh man. Oh, there's so many good things about going home.
I'm pretty sure a nuclear bomb could go off in the center of town, and that would be the only place left standing.
Yeah, probably that and maybe a couple other bars. But
I don't know, because Heenan's accidentally got lit on fire last summer, or was it 2 summers ago?
I think I remember hearing a little bit about that. Heenan's. Oh man, that
Yeah,
was.
that one,
I got
that
into
was
that
funny.
place way more times than I should have before I was 21. Yeah.
Basically, all you had to do was wait till summer, and then nobody would check your ID.
I know. You
Because
know,
that was my move.
the other day I said I mentioned the phrase chalking an ID to someone and they looked at me like I had four heads. Um and I just wondered, was that like a regional thing that people did? Because like it was someone around my age and they were just like, "What is that? You never chalked IDs? That's crazy." They were like experts.
Yeah, so there's that, and ask people what they refer to a sub sandwich as. Because I know there's like the classic one of like, oh, is it pop or soda? There's only two options. You start asking them like, hey, what do you guys call a sub? And you will start getting some wild answers. You're like, you actually call it a grinder? No, no way, you
Yeah.
don't.
Oh man, no, it's all over the board here. It's
Oh,
weird
I
out
know.
here.
My best friend is from somewhere out there, like somewhere around Bend. He always just describes it as near Bend because it's a small town.
Yeah. But who's your best
Yes.
friend?
His name's Ryan Stonebaugh. We were in the Marines together.
I don't know the name.
You
There's like
would
a
not
hot
know him.
here.
He's been to Fredonia like 3 times ever.
Uh-huh.
Uh, he currently lives in North Carolina. He's my best friend, and we met in the
Oh,
military.
got it. Okay. Oh, I thought you said he lived out here. No, no, no. Okay.
No, no, no. He's from there. Like that's where his
Oh.
hometown is.
Oh, sweet. Cool. Like a true local. There's not a lot of
Yes.
those around here.
Well, he's from a small town from there named Gilcrest.
I know that. Yeah, south of here. Cool.
Yes, that's where my buddy's from.
Wow. I've never known anybody from there. That's neat.
Yeah, no, He's like the nicest guy in the world, and he like taught me to be like not so much of a this just kind of a I don't know how you describe it. I was a real sad panda spoil sport back in the day, and then he just kind of like broke me out of my shell, and I'm just like, thanks, buddy.
Aww.
Yeah. So that's my best friend, and yeah, I don't know. We have all the best friend things, the stupid inside jokes that nobody else would understand. Me and him actually came up with the word Wonton Wednesday together.
Really? Please tell
Uh,
me how that came about.
so we were looking for more alliteration days other than Taco Tuesday because we wanted to like plan out our weeks because he's the one who got me this job
Okay.
after the military. So he got me this job, and so we were looking for things. We couldn't come up with too many. It started with Manic Monday. That's the best we could come up with for Monday, although I'm sure there's probably something better. Taco Tuesday, we can't top that. Wonton Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Fucked Up Fridays, Sloppy Saturdays, and Shit Face Sundays.
All right.
We were a little bit young when we came up with that.
A
So we picked
well-rounded week.
Wonton, but it gets better for Wonton Wednesday because we go, all right, wontons could get old really quick. So we're going to loosely define wonton. So basically, anything, and we looked this up, anything that's pretty much dough encasing something is a wonton. Ravioli,
Oh my
pierogi, calzone, samosas. Yeah, like you just
god.
go down the list
Oh
of
my god.
every country, they have something.
So I have had this is so funny. I have had this idea to start a food truck or a restaurant that is all um pillow food, which is essentially what you're describing. That is it.
Yeah.
Food like in dough, in pillows, all of it. All but like all the different kinds all in one food truck. Whether it's like fried or sautéed or baked or whatever. Amazing. I love pillow food.
Yeah.
And now I'm on this podcast. It's a dream come
You're
true.
welcome.
It's a
Although I didn't
sign.
do much other than try and just be friendly to people. That was really just my thing. I'm just like, I'm interested in that. Let's try and get them on. It works like 10% of the time.
10%, that's it?
I punch above my weight a lot, and I'm just like, that's my favorite band. I'm gonna go for it.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
it obviously just gets lost in it, but I've gotten a few actually.
Like who?
So like, uh, I'm into heavy metal still. So
Uh-huh.
my best friend started it off by getting a hold of a guitarist from a band we really like out of Colorado called Legion. And the
Okay.
guy's name is Greg Burgess, and he's like the nicest guy in the world. But also, from what I can tell, I don't think he says no to anything. Like, you just look at like his like life and things he does, and when he was talking, I'm just like, I'm pretty sure this guy's never said no to anything because he's like, even before he was in a touring band, he's like, oh, what was he telling me? He saw like some musical in London, and it was the Queen musical, and he's like, it was the most fantastic thing. And I'm just like, that is amazing. And like he just like travels all over. He's a guitar teacher like for his day job, like online,
Mm-hmm.
and he's also in a band. And so the dude is like fantastic at guitar. Like writes the tab books for me other bands like that he's not even in. I'm
Yeah.
just like, what in the hell?
That's so rad. I love people like that who are just like their ego is not big. They'll like sit down and chat with anyone. Like a
Oh,
few
he's
athletes.
also lived everywhere. Like I thought he was from Colorado, and I'm like talking to him. I'm like, so where are you? He's like, oh, I'm just over somewhere over the river from Ottawa in Quebec. I'm like, what are you doing there? It's like, it's where my wife lives. I'm like, oh, what? Then he starts telling me about like every state he's lived in, like all over the place. I'm just like, what the hell? Totally blew my mind. And then and another band that I like from New Zealand. That was fun because there was the one guy in New Zealand, and main guitar player, and then he brought the drummer on who was in Australia. So
Oh,
like it was 2 in the morning back home while I'm doing this, talking to a guy in Australia and New Zealand. I'm like, this is the best.
that's pretty sick.
Yeah. So yeah, I've gotten a few. Next Sunday, I'm doing one with a band from London I also like.
Ooh. How do you
Yeah.
like how do you approach people and ask them?
But just on Instagram.
Okay. I mean, I guess
Just
like
send them a message.
here too.
Pretty much.
That's so cool though, and like people didn't just yeah, people are just
Yeah, so
willing to go there.
sometimes they see it, sometimes they don't.
Yeah. So if they don't see it, it just like went into a message file with a bajillion other messages and they never opened it.
Pretty much. Like, if you
Yeah.
ever like open up the message tab and you see like requests, and so it's like people that aren't in your friends list,
Yeah.
and so I'm figuring like it just goes there, and there's just like the number 700 or above, like for a lot of these people, and they're just like, I'm not opening that. I don't care about these people. I don't know them, and so I
Yeah.
figure it goes in there. But a few of them, I'm just like, wow, I got that. Cool.
Wow. I try to always like go through those because like some messages slip away. You, I don't know, and like there have been some really great connections and messages that I've gotten from people and conversations on Instagram with strangers sometimes, but it can be really, really nice. Um, yeah. And there's been a couple of times that like pretty elite athletes have responded to me too, and I mean that takes time. I mean time is money, we don't have
Mhm.
unlimited time and you can't just be glued to your phone and your, social media all the time. So when people take the time to respond, I think it's really important and good.
Hell yeah. So, like, how high level are we talking here? Like, Olympics? Pros?
Yeah,
I don't know
like
what pros
pros,
would be.
like pro runners mostly that I'm asking for advice or asking for tips on a certain race or something like that. Yeah. It's I don't know, like the pro running world, like in endurance running, there's not like Olympics for that, but uh there's definitely like professionals who are like well paid and sponsored by big companies and
So, like, Courtney Dorwalter?
yes, the goat, Courtney.
Yes.
She's amazing.
I don't know much about ultra running, but I know her.
Yes, that's probably the person to know.
I know her. There's a oh crap. There's a few others. I'm blanking on. There's a lady out of Montana. Hilly Goat
There's
Climbs is another one.
Oh yeah, Hillary.
Yes,
She
can't remember
actually
her name.
it's Hillary
I want to say Duff, but I
Hillary
know that's not right.
no is it Hillary Allen? That's her. Hillary. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's Hillary Allen. I'm gonna cheat and look at my phone. I should know because I was just gonna say she is part of my inspiration for my stupid my stupid it's just my attitude coming out today. For my like 2 million vert goal this year. Um because I saw something that she posted about why she's called the Hilly Goat, and she was posting like her end of year Strava report, which is like I don't know if you use Strava, but like it like tracks all your runs or activities, bike rides, skiing, etc. Yeah, it's Hillary Allen. It's Hillary Allen. Um, but it's where like athletes will track all of their training and all the vert and the mileage and whatnot. And she had posted that last year she did it was like over 1.6 million feet, which is like a lot. And she's like, and this is why they call me Hilly Goat. And I was like, I wonder if I could do more than that. I wonder what that would be like to train like her. and then and that was like in January, and I had wanted to do like 1,000,000 feet, and then my goal quickly like went way up higher, and then it eventually landed at 2,000,000, which is just absolutely like bananas, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Two
But
million's a good round number. If you would have went with like a prime number, like 2.3, I would have been like, that is a lot.
yeah, so part of me, like in the back of my head, I'm like, why don't I have a secret goal that's higher than 2,000,000? Then I'll just fake everybody out and go way past it. But that's, I mean, I- it was gonna be like 1,000,000, then it was gonna be 1.5, and then I had a friend be like, "Oh, like 5K a day is really cool, and like 5K a day, I can." There's a huge mountain out here that's a 5,000 foot climb, and I've done it a lot of times, so I can kind of like understand what that means. And she was like, "So that's if you do that, it's like 1.825 million." And so my brain was just like, "Hmm, I don't like that number. What's the next nearest like round number? 2,000,000." Well, those two numbers are really close together. And it added like 500 feet a day that I have to do, which is like not a little. It's like not like, oh, 80 feet. It's like 500 more feet. And so we have a little butte in the middle of Bend called Pilot Butte, and it's 500 feet. So so every day I have to do the equivalent of South Sister, which is it's a 10,000 foot peak, but it's like probably the most well-known peak in or near Bend, Oregon. So I have to do a South Sister and a Pilot Butte every day, which is so obnoxious and a lot. But anyway, yes. So Hillary,
Easy peasy.
so far so good. We are 2 months in, and I am grinding, as the children say these days. Grinding.
Are they still saying grinding?
I might be a little behind. I mean, there's one here full time, um, in my house, and then there's two more sometimes. So, I like to think I'm sort of. No, I'm not caught up at all. I am a loser of a cool person, to them. I just overhear what they say and what they watch on YouTube.
Yeah, I've been a fan of what's the one that it's here I am in my lane, thriving.
Yeah.
That's what I would be saying if I was doing 5,500 feet a day, but I'm not.
Yeah. I am in my lane thriving. I actually am right now. I'm actually fighting off um the first cold that I've had of the year. But I'm thriving.
Well, I feel you already fought that one off. Ooh, nice. Energy
Yeah.
drink and Dayquil.
Yes. Actually, this is the prime hydration drink. It's very popular in this household.
Nice.
Yeah.
So would you recommend that one over Powerade Gatorade?
Probably, actually. I'm a big Powerade fan, but the Prime, I have to say, is very good. So, yeah. And I have to drink a
Nice.
lot of water now. I'm like very bad. I'm a chronically dehydrated person, which is like not a good idea in general as a human. Um, but also probably not a good idea. Like I remember when I was in fourth grade, I think I had a kidney infection, and like hydration and the kidneys kind of go together, and also like being an athlete, it's really important to be hydrated. So it's pretty important that I get better at it. Um, but anyway, but this project has like forced me to drink a lot more water and not
Right.
just like coffee and wine. So
Well, the wine's for the last thing of the day before bed. That'll help you relax and fall asleep. Not too much,
yeah,
just one glass. Uh, that's in
or
my
two.
unprofessional opinion.
I mean,
You've seen the meme where the lady has just one glass. She turns the bottle upside down, screws the bottom off, and just like, it's one.
it's what we do. We drink a lot of wine. I mean, I drink wine with dinner, all the time. I just really enjoy wine in general as like an area of interest. And So yeah, so we drink wine with dinner most nights. And yeah, and we don't like go out to eat very much, so I don't ever spend a lot of money out like drinking cocktails or anything like that. But anyway.
Me and before I flew out here, so like I had a super early flight out of Buffalo, and so it
Mhm.
was just like me and girlfriend are like, let's just get a hotel up there near the airport, and then we'll have dinner the night before, and you can just drop me off, and then peace out. So we did that, and I really wanted. I've not been to this one, but I've been to other Brazilian steakhouses. The one at the mall in Buffalo, Tejas de Brazil, and that was her
Yeah.
first time at a Brazilian steakhouse. She's like, "This is amazing." She's like, "We're getting wine tonight, right?" I'm like, "Yes," because normally it's just like, "Stay in, you can cook better," and by you I mean me. Like
Yeah.
she says that, like, "You cook better than a restaurant, and I don't want to pay that much," and I'm like, "I don't blame you." So I usually just like cook a fuckload of steaks and I call it left meal prep. A lot of people either call it leftovers, but it's the same thing and it's still delicious.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, I feel yeah, like I don't go out much, don't eat out much. So yeah, we treated ourselves and I ate way too much meat that night. It was fantastic.
Oh, so good. Oh, just eating too much meat, too much protein. Um, it feels bad, but it's so good.
Yeah, but also there was so much stuff too, because you've been to a Brazilian steakhouse, right?
No, but I've been to a Chilean steakhouse in Chile.
So it's probably
How,
similar where they walk around with the swords cutting you off meat onto your plate, and then they have a giant salad
it's
bar in the middle.
yeah, you kind of like went up to a station and they had all different kinds of meats laid out, and you were like, I want that piece done medium rare or whatever. And yeah, it was nuts.
Oh, it sounds fantastic, though.
So good. Such a good memory.
Were you doing a race in Chile, or why were you there?
No, I was with a group. We went down at the end of last year to go try to um, set a new route and do a fastest known time um, of South America's highest volcano. Uh,
Nice.
yeah, it was kind of a project of a friend of mine. His name is Jason Hardrath. He's trying to do infinity loops of all of the highest volcanoes on each continent. Um, so seven of them. And so this was the one for South America. And so we were trying to go up and over and around it, and then up and over and then around the other way, like a figure eight. And the summit is like over 22,000 feet, so it's quite high. It was quite the experience. Um, it was everybody's kind of first time down there. It was the highest that anyone in our group had ever gone, and we had a really really brief acclimation period. Usually, people would spend like 2 or 3 weeks acclimating for, especially for something that kind of crazy, like staying up at altitude that long. We acclimated for 6 days. So we all made it to the summit. The whole route didn't go, which is not a surprise, but it was a wild experience being way up that high. Totally crazy. Yeah. Chile.
So I feel like the most important question to that story is what kind of snacks were in South America? Now that we know the dinners, the acclimation period, and the route.
Yes. Well, I ate a lot of lomo saltado, so like steak with peppers and onions and French fries. So good.
Fuck yeah.
And um, I brought a ton of snacks with me. Like I brought a lot of food, and we had a company kind of sponsor us with meals. This a company called Peak Refuel. They do like dehydrated backpacking meals that are
Yes.
super high calorie and pretty delicious. So we ate a lot of that. Um, I snacked so hard that we went to a grocery store in Chile. I told you my fascination with like discovering new gas stations and little like country stores. Well, this was like a whole grocery store. And I'm just wandering around without a shopping list, like a lost child, putting stuff in because we weren't backpacking. We had pickup trucks to go up into the Atacama Desert, so we could kind of pack heavy. Um, and yeah, I did, but it was a lot of candy, um, a lot of like um a lot of like pastries and um soups and oh my god, we brought a ton of fresh fruit, a lot of fruit juices. Things were pretty cheap down there. But yeah, I'm just sitting here looking at my snacks. Like, I found
By the
these.
way, I saw those on your story and I tried the grape ones. They are fucking good.
The grape ones are so good. They taste like Concord grapes, which is another thing that nobody in the West Coast is even like remotely aware of, that like this is a grape that grows in a wine. Like they're like we have Welch's grape juice, but like the Concord grapes or like the grape pie or like just the grape that flavor. Anyway,
Wait. Go back to that. Go back to that. You're the
what's
second
that?
person I've ever heard to say grape pie.
Oh,
My
grape pie,
girlfriend's
yeah.
sister fucking loves it.
It is the
I've
best.
never even heard of it.
It is better than cherry. It's but I mean it's very simple. It's Concord grapes used in a pie, like any other fruit. But it's so I mean, it tastes like the grape haichu. That's what it tastes like. It's that flavor. It's Welch's purple grape juice in a pie. Oh, hi, Jolly. My dog just walked in. Hi,
Oh,
buddy. Um, hi. Want to say hi? Hi. Okay. Anyway,
Jolly.
um,
That's her running partner, everyone.
yes, my running petty. Uh, it is. Let's see. My mom has made it. And I've seen it at. There's a festival. I want to say in Westfield. I could be wildly off. But there was, oh, wasn't there a grape festival somewhere in Chautauqua
Silver
County?
Creek has one.
Okay. There, I remember years ago going to it randomly and getting grape pie. Um, but I know my mom used to make it, and it was so good, so good. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I'd never even heard of it. And like, I grew up with a grape field behind my house. And then
Ah,
it was
my
right
mom
in the
had
middle
one
of
behind.
town, too.
Yeah,
And
no,
then,
the grapevines in the little fields are everywhere. My mom had
oh,
some
I know.
at the house she used to live in, before she moved up to Buffalo. Um, and just like randomly, and they would like pick a bowl of grapes now and then. And, yeah,
It's
whatever.
so sad, though, the ones behind my mom's house,
Hmm.
because it's right in the middle of town. Behind that is Russell Joy Park. And,
Ah,
it's the middle of town and there's deer all over that area.
mhm.
And so the amount of deer that were just like moving to that area and just decimating the guy's grapes, because it's my mom's neighbor. I know the guy, I've known him forever. He's like, and he's old now. He doesn't have time to take care of him. So he just tore him down this year. And like, I was just watching
Oh,
it one day while it was happening. I'm like, man,
what a bummer. I mean, grapes take a bit of work, but
I
oh.
do. But it's still and it's also the best smell right there in fall when you're just like, the wind just changes and you're like, oh, what's that? They're just like, grapes? They're ready?
They're here.
No, I think I sent a picture of it last year. Maybe it was the year before, to my brother and sister, because I'm the only one that still lives in town. I'm like, can you guys smell this photo? And it was just the picture of the grapes. And they're like, yes, we can.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh man, I miss that.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a fantastic smell. It's a total body experience. I would describe it. It's not just a flavor.
No. And then yeah, now you have me thinking about wine and wine tasting and wanting to go home and go wine tasting.
I'll go one step further. Peanut butter and jelly air.
Yeah. Yep. So nostalgic.
For anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, there also used to be a factory in town that made peanut butter. So if it was timed right, there'd be the smell of peanut butter being made at the same time there was the smell of grapes in the air, and you're just like, God damn it, I'm hungry all day.
My best friend from kindergarten, Holly, lived right by there. And I just remember
Oh
going to
yes,
her.
she rode my bus. I know that.
Yes. Oh gosh, yeah.
Yes.
I would go to her house and smell it. Oh my gosh. Mm, so many good memories. What a good place to grow up.
But it's also, like I say, it's a great place to leave.
Oh yeah, I think leaving's really important.
Yes.
And
It's
even if
very
you come
small
back,
and limiting.
yeah. I mean, coming back is fine. I think it's a great town. I don't know. Um, Although I really like it out here. I'm good. I'm not coming back. It is nice to go back and visit though.
Pretty much. As soon as my mom like moves or dies, I'm just gonna be like, all right, I'm done there.
Yeah, the only well, I have a couple of relatives still, but my dad is still there. Um, my aunt and uncle are there, but like my mom and my brother, they're all like everybody moved up to Buffalo, and I was like, peace out.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Emily goes west.
Yep. Far, far away.
It's not that far. It's only like 3,000 miles.
Only. No,
What's what's a two
I
day
make it
drive?
maybe on average I'm back like once a year. So,
That's not bad.
uh, they can come see me too.
Hell yeah, give them a reason to get out of town. Be like, you want to see me? Come to where the cool things are.
Yeah. No, they've been out to visit. So, it's been good. Mhm.
So they don't have any cool smells out there other than paper being made. I take it.
Oh man, no, we have cool smells. When I
Really?
moved here, I mean, sage and juniper. Bend is the high
Oh,
desert, man, and that's
oh,
like the
that's right.
first thing I noticed when I moved here. Besides my skin, like all of a sudden being extremely dry and having to get used to the dryness. Um, because like Bend isn't the driest place in the world, but it's markedly different. Um, uh, from the East Coast. So, but yeah, I remember like literally driving into town and right away, sage and juniper, um, which is pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Go pick a
And
bunch
then
of it and just like sage some shit.
well, Bend is a beer town, so
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you can smell the beer, I mean, just like the sweetness, like it around certain breweries for sure. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's not some bad things to trade up.
No.
Trading out grapes for beer and sage. Do they make sage beers? Maybe that tastes weird.
Maybe a juniper, like juniper berry. I
Yeah, I could
don't
see that one.
know.
Because I think I've had juniper vodka before. Maybe junipers and gin.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I've no. I'm thinking of currants and vodka. So yeah, I think juniper is and gin.
Yeah, it is. Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting.
Heck yeah.
All right. So what else do we have on the docket?
Yeah, what's on the docket?
I don't know. I don't really have a docket. I really just wrote down your name on a sheet of paper, and I didn't do anything with it because I'm like, I don't know. We're going to talk about snacks and not training.
You know, the snack thing is really um I do have a big snack tip. Um, and I learned it when I backpacked the PCT, so the
Mhm.
Pacific Crest Trail, um, like 8 years ago now, which is so long ago. I can't believe it. Um,
I know saying pre-COVID is like saying pre 9/11.
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's so bizarre. Um, but anyway, on the trail, so really important. Like whenever I go backpacking now, I make sure that my snacks. I always have something sweet, something salty, something cheesy, something crunchy, savory, spicy, um, and something gummy, and then something with fruit, and something with chocolate. And the idea is you get all of that stuff together. So you have like an assortment of like so you have like Cheetos, M&Ms, gummy bears, hot fries, honey mustard pretzels, and like Skittles or
Yeah.
something. And you mix them all in the same bag. And it's called a smash bag. Oh, and then like something like wasabi peas. There's like so you like a bunch of different flavors. Um, and then you mix them all in a gallon Ziploc bag, and that's your snack bag. And it's called a smash bag. And you just reach in, and you never get tired of your snack because you reach in and you just have this assortment of wonderful snacks, and they're all mixed in together, and it's fine. Um, yeah.
I've done something similar to that. It was have you ever seen the S'mores Golden Grams remix? Or the Golden Grams S'mores remix?
No.
I don't know if they still make them, but I bought this before, so it's like a bag full of mini marshmallows, chocolate chips, and graham cracker, not graham crackers, golden grams. That
Was it
was my
like the
base.
cinnamon toast crunch remix that they had?
Yeah, because it's the same company.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, then I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it was the golden grams one, and they made s'mores. So that was my base. And then, so I poured that into a gallon bag, and then it was Reese's Pieces and Sour Patch Kids.
Yes. See, you got it. It's just like that. I really like
Yeah.
that. Yep. If
So
I was
then you
going on a
shake
really
that one
long,
up, and then I divide that up into little snack bags for me for, once again, meal prep, but that's snack prep.
yeah, those snacks are so important.
This
Lately,
is
I've been
also
really,
true.
lately I've been really snackish. Like if I'm gonna go and do a really long run or a really big vert day, I have to have snacks to motivate me. So I have to like go out the night before and plan what I'm gonna have. So like today I had cheddar bunnies and these high chews. Um, and oh, and then I found I was at a ski resort in Washington and they had these like bars of chocolate, but they're like sponge candy. That's another thing people don't know out here. Sponge candy. You say that and people are like, "What's that?"
You
But
know, most
it's
of the
like
sponge candy in Buffalo is made in Baltimore.
no. Really?
Read the labels.
That's gonna be
I've been
fun.
reading the label, except for Niagara chocolates. All the rest of them in like stores and like the store brand ones,
Yeah.
they're all made in Baltimore. I was like, what in the fuck?
Which the store ones are really not that good, but like let's face it, I've eaten a lot of it. I
When
do
you're
miss
walking down the aisle towards the checkout and you're like, I think I'm done. And you just grab one and it just, I don't know how it gets in your cart, like a UFO landing. It's just, there it is. It's just like,
oh
get
my
home.
god.
Like, how'd that sponge candy get there? Actually, I'm not going to lie. When you look in your passenger seat when you're in the car and you're like, how'd that sponge candy get on my lap? Why is it open right now? And then it doesn't make it home. It's probably a little more
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah, there's nothing that I would like more right now. Well, I don't know if there's nothing. I would really right now love to just be laying in bed with some orange chocolate sponge candy. I don't care if it's just like the Wegmans variety. It could be like Tops Markets. I don't care. Um, I just want to lay in bed and crunch it. And God, I just loved it so much.
Yeah, it is pretty good. So I'll let you in on a secret that I used when I was in the Marine Corps, and that I also to this day use to my brother, who's still in the Army.
Mhm.
BuffaloFoods.com, I believe, is the website, and you can get Sponge candy sent to you, Chevetta's sauce sent to you, and Weber's mustard and a few other things. If you get
Oh,
overnight, you can get Wardinski's meats and I forget what brand of fresh pierogies.
I am there right now.
You're
Oh
welcome.
my God. This is the greatest gift ever. My brother is always like, Emily, just tell us what you want. Oh my God, look, chef sauce, Chevetta's sauce, Ted's sauce. Oh my God, I bet you can get Mighty Taco sauce on here too. I always, one time when I came to Buffalo, I had to fly home I had to borrow a whole suitcase because I bought so much beer and like other like stuff. Then my dad took me to the store. I had to buy bubble wrap to wrap everything so that it wouldn't break. And everything made it back in my checked bag, um but yeah, my brother's always like, just let us know what you want and we can send it to you. But this is wonderful. And there's even like
Yeah.
gifts. Oh my God. Oh my
No,
God,
I
you've
sent my
ruined me.
brother, I think it was 3.5 gallons of Chevetta's sauce and I think Weber's mustard for Christmas. And him and his wife just went nuts. They were just like, yes.
Ah. Oh my gosh, this is insane. This is so exciting. Yeah.
The look of joy on your face, like during those moments that I told you this, and still to this moment, I'm just like, I'm enjoying it. You're welcome.
I can put my phone down now, but it's so exciting. So cool.
You're going to be running off that high for like 3 days until you get your first shipment. You're going to be like, yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's always a really sad day when I run out of like the Ted sauce or the Mighty Taco sauce or the Lloyd's rocket sauce.
That
Um,
stuff is amazing.
yeah, so good. I still have some Chevettas left. Like I don't have any chefs. Man, I love chefs. Oh my God. Mm.
Now you don't have to rely on anyone. You can get it yourself.
I don't have to fly home all the way home to get it. Although I
You
have
don't
to, I'm
have
going
to.
back. I'm going to be home in June-ish or July. I have a baby niece or nephew coming.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, number two. So I'll be an aunt again.
Sweet. So they're going to name this one after you then?
I don't
Emily
know.
if it's a girl, Emilio if it's a boy.
Right? I could suggest it. I don't think that's going to happen.
Not don't just suggest it, but when you suggest it, push them a thing of sponge candy and then take the napkin off of it so that they know what it is and be like, there's more where this came from.
Mm.
They'll think they're getting bribed and you'll be like, finally, I have a namesake. Yes. Then when they're older, you can be like, listen, I know why you were named after me. Paid your parents off with sponge candy.
Yeah.
They never knew it was coming.
I feel like I would have to pay them off with, man, I'd have to pay them off with like really nice champagne and lots of time off work and like years of free babysitting. That would probably work.
Hmm. There's got to be a something in the middle of what I proposed and what you think is going to happen. How we can get Emily or Emilio named after you. This theoretical child that I don't even know. Probably never will. But yeah, there's got to be a way. We can come up with something.
I bet they have a name. I bet they have a name picked out.
As long as it's not something really like weird, like Brayton, Paxton, or somebody's last name, and they're going to use it as a first name.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't they're not that kind of people. Well, they named their first daughter, their first child, they named after my grandmother. Um so
Okay,
maybe it'll go to her side of the family. I don't know.
that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm not having
Almost
kids in
makes
my
too much sense.
they can name their kids whatever.
You can come up with really fun names for it, just like whenever anyone gets a dog and everyone throws out like 500 names,
Yes.
which I'm also a fan of. I've only ever got to name one dog. It was Tootsie Roll. She was one of my dachshunds that I had.
Aw.
Yes, she's just fantastic.
I always had like the next 5 dog names lined up for the next, you know, 5 dogs I would have for the rest of my life.
Which brings me to my next point. When is science going to work on increasing the length of dog lives?
That's really important.
Scientists are not tackling the tough issues.
I
I think
know.
they're getting lazy.
I know. With everything that we're capable of, I'm really surprised that like that's not been a a focus.
Right? I mean, we can laser guide a bomb with a drone onto a Russian's head, but we can't make a dog's life double.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. Um Technology has just gotten so weird. So fat and like has gone in way different ways than I feel like most of us thought it would go. I was talking to
Pretty
somebody
much.
yesterday, like the whole artificial intelligence and um oh, it's because I saw an article about how Wendy's is supposed to be moving to dynamic pricing.
Yes.
I don't eat fast food hardly ever, but I'm like, okay, so this like if you asked me like 15, 20 years ago what AI was going to be like, I would have been like, okay, yeah, all the automated like jobs will become automated and we're just going to be using computers at the grocery store, which we are, like the self-checkout, whatever. Um but like it's getting to the point where it's like changing so subtly. I mean, not so subtly, but like gradually enough that we don't even realize that we're accepting it without even thinking about it. And like the fast food dynamic pricing, that sucks, man. That they're gonna charge people more for the same thing at more. I mean, it's genius, but it's I can't wrap my head around it. Um, Kind of like I can't wrap my head around the fact that people order like single cake pops on Uber Eats and pay like $10 to have one cake pop delivered to their house.
That's
I don't
because
know.
you haven't done a lot of drugs.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know where humanity is going. Sometimes I
First
just
of
want
all,
to.
I don't live in a place that has a lot of DoorDash. So, like, when I am in a place like that, like currently I'm in Anchorage where there's Uber and DoorDash, and I'm like, holy shit, this is amazing. Because I'm not used to getting the food delivered
I
or
never get food
being,
delivered. I just don't want to pay for it.
well, there's that. And I'm old school where I'm like, I called the pizza place, I order the pizza, and then I go pick it up.
Yeah.
It's not hard. To me,
Yeah.
it's not, at least.
Yeah.
Although the only time I did use one in recent memory was, so my girlfriend owns a flower shop in Jamestown. So
Oh,
Valentine's Day, slammed, busiest day of the year.
yeah.
So I knew her florist, and her roommate that she had helping her that day were going to be slammed and probably not have a lot of time to eat. So just before lunch, I ordered them a pizza, bread, garlic knots, and something else.
Aw,
Yes.
that's
So
so
I had to, obviously I wasn't even in the same state, so I like did it through an app. I'm like, fuck yeah.
nice. See, that's a great use of DoorDash or Uber Eats.
Yeah. That was
Aw.
my theory. I'm just like, all right. And I was really sad because it was Valentine's Day and there wasn't a little block on there where I could be like special request, but like make the pizza in the shape of a heart.
Yeah, 'cause some of the pizza places do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is why I should have just called and been like, "Hey, I'm putting in an order. Can you make this in the shape of a heart?" And they would have been like, "We got you, pal."
Yeah. Oh,
But that's my fault for being in a rush, being lazy.
it's okay. No, that's not lazy. That was so thoughtful. Aw.
Well, yeah, who doesn't love
Pizza.
pizza?
Oh, pizza's very important. I always really loved the scene in Home Alone where Kevin McAllister um orders pizza and he's like, my very own cheese pizza. Um and I just really enjoy pizza. Um and I went to a brewery here in Bend one time and ordered a pizza and I was with my friend Kevin and the guy at the counter made a comment about like, "Oh, you're this is to share with someone, right?" And my friend Kevin just chimes in. He's like, "You only underestimate this woman once." Proceeded to just like eat the whole pizza myself because I had done a long run that day and I was gonna eat the whole pizza. Um, but when I ran this race out in Utah called the Moab 240, and I had friends came to like help crew me and pace me, and um, I remember I got to this one aid station. Oh, I was probably like 150 miles into the race or so, and there were two things I really wanted: pizza and margaritas. And it was a Sunday in Utah. There are no liquor stores open. So my best friend Erica literally was in a plaza where there was a closed liquor store and then a pizza place and a grocery store. And so she got margarita mix at the grocery store and then proceeded to wander around the parking lot asking people if they had tequila at home that she could buy off of them to bring to me at my, and she was like, my friend, she's running the, this 200-mile race, blah blah blah. Anyway, she got someone to give her tequila. But she, more importantly, when I ran into the aid station where they have like all the like medical and food tents and kind of a rest area, um, she was standing there with the pizza and just like presented it to me, opened the lid, and it was my very own Kevin McAllister moment. I just had to run like 150 miles to get it, but it was so wonderful. Um, yeah, pizza, man, so good.
So, did you think it was like a desert mirage for a moment?
Well, I knew they were gonna be there. I didn't know if the margaritas were gonna happen necessarily. But she was there. I mean, like she had the salt rim and everything. I mean, I think it was like pink salt.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah. It was great. I mean, I didn't drink too much because I still had to keep going and like finish the race. But it was more of just like a huge morale boost. But we had been talking on the phone, like reception had been in and out kind of leading up to that area, so I knew she was trying to get those things, but gosh, it was so wonderful. Food. It
So,
always
what's
comes
your
back to food.
oh, fuck yeah? So, what's your go-to pizza topping then?
Oh, pepperoni.
Cheese and pep.
Although I do love a good white pizza with the onion and tomatoes. And I really um when I worked at Lena's, I got like turned on to all these different toppings. Like I never had liked mushrooms. I never liked green olives. Nobody carries green olives anymore to put on pizza. Green olives on pizza are so good. They're like a little mini salt bomb. Um,
Do they
so
have
much.
black olives out there?
Yeah, yeah. There's black olives, but black
But no
olives are
grain?
not green. No green olives. Um. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Like a barbecue chicken pizza with like the red onion and the
Oh, it's a good
chicken
one
and the
too.
mozzarella and the barbecue sauce as a base. Yeah, that's one of my favorites for sure. But pepperoni, like all extra pepperoni and the cuppy pepperoni. You know that like when it cooks, it makes a little cup. and then there's the
Yes, and then you have the little grease cup. And
yeah,
they're
because
fantastic.
the grease gets really hot and you bite into it. It's like but it's so good. Um, or just like a
Yeah,
really
it
nice
is.
high quality like flat pepperoni that you can make really crispy. But I
You
might have
know,
pizza
with
for second dinner tonight. Actually,
it's never a bad idea. I was walking around the grocery store after work looking for snacks, and I almost bought a few frozen pizzas.
I'm a bit. I do love some good frozen pizzas. I have French bread pizzas in the freezer. That's a good snack.
Oh yes, frozen pizzas are my friends a lot, but I'm also saving myself because so my brother is stationed up in Fairbanks, which is like 6 hours away, and I'm in
Oh,
Anchorage. And
that's
the only
far.
thing he told me about Alaska's food scene is one, everything's more expensive than in the lower 48. I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured. And two, he's like, go to Moose's Tooth Pizza. And I'm like, okay. And it just so happens it is less than a quarter mile from my hotel. I'm like, fucking A. So
Ooh, yeah.
the only thing I know is that I've been told about one pizza place, and that's where I'm going for pizza some point during this work trip. And I'm gonna be like, yes.
Moose's Tooth. That sounds legit.
It's already got a great name. It's hooked me in. So I'm going with that one.
We actually just got a new
And
pizza place here in Bend called Pinky G's. And they're like a small chain. I think they have three locations. There's one in Montana, but I've been to the one in Jackson Hole, and it's so good. And I don't think everybody in Bend understands what it means that we now have Pinky G's, but they just opened, so I haven't been yet. Very soon.
give it time. Soon everyone will know if it's worth a damn.
Oh, it's so good. Ah,
Oh, that was another thing. Had this one recently, and it's surprisingly fantastic. Blaisdell Pizza has a spaghetti pizza.
what?
So
Do
crust.
do explain.
So it's got the crust on the bottom,
Hmm.
red sauce, spaghetti, cheese on top, and your choice of meatballs, or if you ask very kindly and the person is not super high, you can get chicken parm spaghetti pizza.
What? That sounds wonderful.
Yes.
That sounds kind of like making a spaghetti sub.
Yeah, or a spaghetti sandwich, but open faced.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it as long as you're not carbivorous, it's fantastic.
Oh my God, I can't I don't you know, I'll just say I'm very happy that I'm able to eat carbs, that my body doesn't reject things like gluten, um and that I have a lifestyle that requires me to eat a lot of carbs. Um, they make me very happy.
So I'm going to circle back to something you said earlier after this, but uh, so a lot of my mom's sisters and a couple of my cousins are gluten whatever, and so my mom had them over for can't remember if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Hmm.
My mom's the Polish side of my family, and my dad's side of the family was big into garlic bread for every holiday.
Mm.
And so there's a very certain way we look at it and then make it look and then wrap it in the tin foil. And so when I showed up to my mom's house for that holiday, she just took one look at me and goes, "Oh, thank God you made garlic bread," and just grabs that out of my hand. And I'm just like, "I love you too, Mom." She's like, "There's no gluten in anything here." And like she was
Oh my
just like
God.
so happy that there was garlic bread. The second thing you should know about my grandma's garlic bread recipe is that it contains a lot of green olives because you said green olives earlier. I've been meaning to say
Ooh.
that.
Ooh,
So when you make your
nice.
garlic butter, get the sliced manzanilla olives with the pimento stuffed ones. Those are the ones. Mix that in with your garlic butter. And then I don't know if you're one of the people that spreads it on top or if you cut all the slices and then do it and then put it in the oven. That's how we do it. Do it that way. Garlicky, salty, fantastic.
That sounds so good. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember. So the green onions and garlic butter. I mean, not green onions, green olives and garlic butter.
Yes,
The and capicola.
in your
Capicola.
hamburgers.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yes, don't
those.
worry. This you don't need to write this down. You can just listen to this again when you're hungry after I put this out in a few weeks.
Yep. Oh my God. I'm getting hungry
Mhm.
again. I just had so much. I feel like I had so much food, but
That's okay. My running thing that I say is that if it's over 70 degrees, I need ice cream to cool off. And if it's under 70 degrees, I need ice cream because I need the extra calories to stay warm.
yes, I do think about that all the time, especially after a big
Mhm.
day out in the cold like today. Like, yeah, my body was working extra just to keep me warmer.
I've been eating massively more, but like doing the same amount of workload for work and same amount of workload for my workouts, which is primarily just lifting weights, even though, and today is my scheduled yoga day because I don't normally lift weights on Friday because I don't have time because it's normally a travel day.
Yeah,
Um, and I'm just like bundled up in stuff, walking around doing my work, and I'm just like I got out of work, I had a full bag of siete cookies because the Mexican wedding ones are fantastic because they taste like snowballs.
I
The
don't know
ones that
what
are,
those are. I mean, I know
the
what
little
Mexican are. Let's see it. What
siete
are?
is a brand of cookies. Well, it's a brand of all sorts of stuff. So they have tortilla chips. They're primarily gluten free stuff, but the Mexican wedding cookies are delicious, and their tortilla chips are cooked in olive oil instead of industrial seed oils. So I like them for that because I don't like industrial seed oils coursing through me. That's the one.
I've seen this brand before. I didn't know they did Mexican wedding cookies. This is going to end me. Shoot.
No, it's not.
Oh my gosh, this looks like exactly the kind of snack that I would want for something like tomorrow. Wow.
I warn you, um, they're better than Lay's, and that once you pop, you can't stop.
Excellent.
Yeah, like if they just made sleeves of those like Pringles, like I would have them in my pockets at work, like it's like, hey, what you got in there? Like can of spray paint? Nope, cookies.
Just packet cookies.
No one would be surprised with me at that.
No.
They'd be like, that's a good plan. Can I have one? I'm like, yeah, here you go.
Sharing is caring.
Exactly. Like there's all sorts of stuff like that where it's just like, yeah, you want one of these? Yeah, sure, here you go. Family packs of almonds. They just happen to become community at sites.
Yep. We have we have this grocery store. Maybe it's everywhere. I don't know. I had never heard of it before, but it's called Wincow. And it's kind of like it's a co-op grocery store, but it's not like Whole Foods. It's not expensive. It's way more affordable. Anyway, they have a huge bulk section. And I feel like bulk food in grocery stores went away during COVID, but this grocery store has the most amazing bulk food section. I mean, chocolate covered gummy bears and um
What?
like the dried vegetable, like they what is it? It's like freeze dried. I don't know, but they have freeze dried okra, which I never knew that I really liked okra, but freeze dried I do. Um, and like just like every kind of gummy candy and every kind of hard candy you would possibly want, all the different nuts and anyway, um, yeah, it's just the best. When I'm putting together snacks for like a big race or a big backpacking trip, I definitely hit that up.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome because I haven't seen a good bulk section since Sprouts
Oh,
when I was
Sprouts.
in
We don't have
Memphis.
Sprouts here. We don't have Sprouts. They have it down in California.
There are a lot of places other than wherever I am.
Although Wegmans, I mean,
Yeah, but they don't have a good bulk section.
no, no, they don't.
They
They've
used
been
to.
improved upon.
It was fantastic because if you wanted to make like specific M&M's cookies, they had the bulk section with all the different colors of M&M's individually like off to like different containers.
I remember that.
Yes. So it was great. So you could make like the red,
So
white,
many.
and blue ones for the America holidays or for Buffalo Bills,
They
red
even
and
had
green
like
for Christmas.
gray. They had like gray M&Ms and like peach
Yeah.
colored. Like there's so many different like five shades of green. Yeah, I remember that. It's pretty
They had the Crayola palette of M&M's colors. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
good.
But it was great. By the way, if you want to make the Crayola Marines eating crayons joke, go right ahead. I'm all
What
for
joke?
it.
I don't know it.
So it's the new way that, well, it's not really new. It's been around for a while. So basically, the joke is Marines eat crayons because
Why?
we're not smart.
Oh, really?
Well, it's the joke between the services. So yeah. So like the joke is like the Navy's gay. Um, the Army will just take anyone in it, and Coast Guard's kind of just whatever. They just get forgotten, which makes them sad. And then
Oh,
Marines are stupid and strong, so they eat crayons because they're obviously the nice way to say it is the R word.
so they eat
Because
crayons.
Marines stands for muscles are required, intelligence not essential.
I've never heard that.
And the Navy stands for never again volunteer yourself.
Oh my god.
There's ones for all of them except Air Force because it's too long. Nobody can figure it out.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, but aren't Marines like I mean, isn't that like the toughest like
Sure, that's what we tell ourselves.
That's funny.
It's true. But it also stands for my ass rides in Navy equipment. Because the other fun thing to do when Marines are like, yeah, we're the toughest, be like, yeah, but you're still a department of the Navy because it is.
Man.
That's why they go on ships. They're not their own branch, they're a part of the Navy. Well, technically, I am. Because once a Marine, always a Marine. So why re enlist?
How long were you in?
Only 5 years. I did aircraft maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What made you decide to so you were in for 5 years and then you did it was like you reenlist or not?
Yeah, you can make your decision to re enlist or not. And I opted not to. I was just like, I think I've had enough.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was fun. It also wasn't fun. I also met my best friend there. I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to become brainwashed for the rest of my life, so I think I should leave.
Yeah.
Still brainwashed for a few years, though.
It's a pretty different life, huh?
It really is. And then looking back on it now, I'm just like, I am an entirely different person from then, but I'm still slightly stupid from it.
You know, I'm slightly stupid from some of my experiences.
But I'm also a lot better from a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I would say overall, I would have done it again. They were like, you have to go back and relive your life. I'm like, all right, well, that part's definitely going to happen because it made me a better person overall, even though there was a lot of negative moments. There's a lot of positives.
Heck yeah. Wow. Hmm. I don't know a lot of people who have been in any of the armed forces. I mean, a handful, I guess, but yeah, it's like a world I'm just not. I've never been very privy to.
Don't worry. It's something ridiculously small, like less than 1% of the American population. But if you look at like the population areas where they are from, it's places like Fredonia. Like, I think from my graduating class, and there was at least six. So two people went in directly after, like directly from graduating and going in. So that was me and Kyle Yelich. And
Okay. Oh
then
my God,
after
that's
that,
right. Kyle. Wow.
by the way, I lift weights with him every week and I see him all the time.
No way. Do
I've
you
actually
really?
told him, yeah,
Oh my gosh. How is he?
do you want to hear the crazy thing?
Yeah.
He's the principal of Silver Creek.
Shut up. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yes.
God, he's such a good dude. He was such a good dude. I really liked him. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, he's my best friend in town. Me and him lift weights is pretty much Saturday mornings. Uh, if I have a week off, we'll try and do something like in the middle of the week because he teaches kickboxing too. So Tuesday we might do that, or sometimes Wednesdays he goes to like a pistol range and the indoor range, whatever the hell that is, the Chautauqua Rod and Gun Club right in there in the middle of town.
Mhm.
We'll train there. Yeah, no, and then so yes, that's me and Kyle, and then I want to say there was a handful of other people from my class that went army after they were like, college isn't. So there's
Wow.
like 120 people in our graduating class, roughly. I don't know the exact number, but like with, let's round and call the numbers five or six. It's
Mhm.
like over 1%, which is over the national average. And that's
Yeah.
like across the board what you'll see. And like, hey, who are you? I'm so and so. Where are you from? I'm from here. Never heard of that place.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. That's so crazy to think about. Yeah, I'm not in touch with a ton of people um from home. Like a handful and then a handful that you just kind of like follow whatever they're doing. But like there's people whose like names I would hear and be like, "Oh my God, what are they up to? How are they doing?" It's crazy. I've never been to a reunion either. I don't know. I don't know why,
Don't
but
worry, neither have I. I've skipped both of them, the 10 and the 20
okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, my 20
this
would be
year.
this year. Oh, that's so odd to think about. I just don't even yeah. It kind of makes me anxious just to think about but
So here's what I'll say is that so like there's a big push in the veteran community of like because after service like you make your best friend and then you like split off and go to the wind and you go to like different corners of America or something unless like you're like yeah we're gonna hang out and be best friends together and move in with each other. Um, and then you have your secondary and tertiary friends that you also have that you're also very close with and you also split off from them and then like nobody gets in touch with each other. So that's kind of how started this podcast was to like get back in touch with everyone.
mhm.
And what I've found is that more and more people are like, I've always wondered how that person was doing, but no, I guess the correct way to say it is like, I don't know how to start the conversation. I didn't know how to ask, but I've always wondered. So if you've wondered about that person and you can find them online, just fucking throw it out there. Just be like, hey, what's up? How you been? I haven't checked in on you in a while. Like, and
Yeah.
I've done that to a few people that like we went to school with too. And it is amazing. But it's just like reconnecting with people, being like, hey, how you doing? How have you been? And like just hearing stories and talking to people. Like
Mhm.
not a lot of people want to be on this too, actually, like even amongst my friends, where it's just like most of it's just like, I'm not that interesting. I'm like, I beg to differ. I think you are. You just live your life every day, so you don't think it is.
Right. That's a really good point. Yeah. It's like when you look in the mirror every day, and so you don't notice, you know, like little changes, like if someone's trying to lose weight, or if someone's like lifting weights a whole bunch, like you don't notice the change, like someone who hasn't seen you in a long time. Because to you it's just like the normal thing. You're just not one day as remarkable, but yeah.
I I think of it like a teenage boy, where it's just like if you talk to a teenage boy at dinner after school, be like, "What did you do today?" Nothing. You had to have done something. Same thing I do every day.
Uh-huh.
You didn't talk to anyone at school? Nope. You had to have. Nope. You don't have any friends? Nope. I know you do. They've been over here.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like some people are just like that. It's like, all right, man. Well, all right. Still love you. Have a nice day.
Yeah. That's the standard that I did school pickup today, and that's what I got. How was school? Good. What'd you do? Nothing.
Yeah. Yep. Can't win them all, but you can try.
Yeah.
You can always just run up to them and embarrass them and shake them and be like, "Look, they love you." And they'll be like, "Ah." And
I
then be
do
like,
I
"See,
do
look, something happened today."
I do the nerdy, like with the younger girls. I've like done the school drop off and been like, "Bye, have a great day, make good decisions, be nice to your friends," like waving out the window, and I just get like eye roll. It's pretty funny.
Nice, nice, very nice. You could always yell at them, "Do things I would do."
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't make life altering decisions. Not
Oh, they're
today.
going to anyways. That's how you learn.
Yeah.
At least that's how I
Yeah.
learn through mistakes.
Yeah. I think in a lot of ways, my parents, probably more my mom, like didn't want me to, like, she couldn't relinquish that control to like allow me to make some of those mistakes. Um, like really tried hard not to let them happen. And some of that needs to happen. You gotta mess up or just make decisions that are your own, that you're not getting permission for, or that your parents don't like, because you're your own person.
Mhm. Nope. I was lucky yet unlucky enough where I didn't have a lot of supervision because my mom worked nights at the hospital.
Hmm.
So I found myself I don't know, being a hooligan a lot and then having to rein myself in and then being a hooligan and then getting caught and going, shit. But also on the plus side, I taught myself how to cook because of that, because I didn't have a lot of parental supervision. And I was just like, I'm hungry.
I had a lot of supervision,
I'm
but
so
that also
sorry.
means,
That sounds like hell to me.
I mean, it wasn't like prohibitive. It was just, the classic, like, oh, but Susie's mom lets her do this. Um, I don't know. I, it's a weird dynamic between parents and teenagers, and like parents say they want to build trust, but building trust isn't really the thing that's being built, because like teenagers are going to um betray trust. Like that's not, so you can't, like as an adult you can't have this expectation that a teenager is going to just be trustworthy because they're motivated to be. Like teenagers also have to learn to like make tough choices without a parent over their shoulder, and get into trouble and try to get out of trouble. And, and if a parent is just kind of basing everything around like, well, here's what I want you to do, and I'm trusting you to do it the way I'm telling you, or to, not get into trouble, it's not realistic. And I think I just wound up in those kinds of situations. Like I would, lie about where I was, or lie about what time something was ending, or whose house I was at, because there wasn't ever not like there weren't opportunities for me just to experience like making my own choices. It was really frustrating, but not that I had bad parents. I had amazing parents, but yeah, and parenting is like way different now too. I think so many things have changed. I'm glad I am
Yeah.
not a parent. I'm auxiliary.
Well, with the invention of smartphones and the internet, like, it's probably way easier to catch kids now if you know where to look. But also, I was the youngest of four, so I saw everything my siblings did wrong, and I was just like, I can learn from this. So I went the opposite of what you did. I went over the top with the truth, and I just made it sound as sarcastic as I could, but I was telling the God's honest truth of exactly what I was going to do. And my mom thought it was hilarious. She's like, "Oh, you're such a good kid." And then I'd go out and I'd do exactly what I said I was going to do. And my sister was just like, "I fucking hate you."
I can imagine. Oh my god.
Yeah, she was just like, I would have gotten slaughtered for even saying half the shit you just said. And I'm just like, mom loves me best. I don't know.
Because there's some comfort, even if the truth is really extreme. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, these days, yeah, kids are. I feel like it could be easier to catch them, but like they know how not to get caught.
But
Yeah,
also, they got to learn to do that. I think you got to learn to do the hooligan stuff a little bit. It helps you later in life, where you can be like, all right, well, I know how to get out of trouble without calling somebody to get me out of trouble. Or even like at work, not even if getting in trouble, where it's just like I can think dynamically on the fly when the pressure's high.
hmm I like how that's a really good way to. Don't no, mom. This is a really important lesson. I'm learning to think dynamically when there's high pressure. The cops were like knocking down the door, and I had to find a really good hiding spot in the basement and be really quiet, and then find a way to sneak out of the house. Like, yes.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably not thinking that either. They're just thinking, oh shit. But, that's actually what's happening is they're going, I can think and problem solve my way through a problem. So on
Yeah.
one hand, you should things like that, you should be like, damn it, why'd you get yourself in that situation? On the other hand, it's like, you got brains and moxie, good job.
Yeah. You just learn. Like, I feel like, I mean, now as an adult, it's like, it's a good decision, bad decision, what's probably not going to be a great situation. But when you're a kid and teenager and your brain's not fully formed, you're just wandering around, like, presented with opportunities constantly and not really understanding the consequences yet. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
No, I definitely had no idea.
Mm-mm. I was so concerned with, like, I was just concerned with, like, not trying to be cool, like, in that sense of, like, cool, cool, but just like wanting to be liked, wanting to like be involved, wanting to feel, yeah, I think just like wanting to belong, wanting to be liked. I wish I could go back and just like shake myself and be like, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Nobody
Would you have
cares.
listened to yourself though?
I don't know.
Because I
I
say the
don't
same thing. I'm like, I don't know if I would have like if I could time travel and talk to myself now, I'd be like, you don't know anything, old man. I'd be like, I'm you.
Yeah. I mean, I remember there were some people in high school that seemed so self-assured. Like they were confident, and a lot of the times it was classmates who weren't necessarily like the quote popular kids, but they were popular in their own friend group because they were like nice and funny and creative and fun. Um, and maybe they weren't part of the popular crowd. My grade had had cliques up the wazoo. It was not super fun. Um, to be like a kid and then a teenager trying to find yourself in my particular class. There were so many like formative experiences and a lot that were negative, but and not all that were negative, but anyway, I just remember like I think about like the kids that I were in my class that I admired so much. Um and I wish I could have had that kind of confidence. And I wonder if they even think that they had that much confidence. Maybe they feel like they didn't, but it seemed like they did, and they just seemed very genuine and um you know instead I was busy like trying too hard all the time. That's what it felt like. But
Yep.
I felt so incredibly awkward.
I feel like if you don't feel awkward in high school, you missed something.
Yeah, that is true. That's so true. Um I guess awkward. I felt weird. Like I made a lot of weird decisions that I just, and maybe that's totally normal too, but um yeah, I don't know. A lot of trying to find out where I belonged. That didn't happen for a long time either. Um which I there's that like that idea about like some people peak in high school. And I feel like I
How'd
can
you
see
know?
that. I can see that with some people. Um and I
I'm so
definitely
glad I didn't, though.
same. I mean, it just like high school was so awkward and weird. It felt like an extension of middle school. College kind of started off rough and then got much better. But then after that, like later into my 20s and now like your 30s are just your professional 20s. Like you you have a fully developed brain, you make better choices. Hopefully you have a little more money, a job, so like a little more of like a solid like direction ish. And but like your like body still works and you can have way more fun. It's so much cooler, but um no, it's crazy how much better life got.
No, I feel you. I feel you. No, I've thoroughly enjoyed being an adult and getting older. And I'm just like, wow, unlimited freedoms. This is great. Like
Yeah,
the memes where it's like, being adult's great. You can buy your own cake and nobody will stop you. I'm like, I've done that.
absolutely. Like
Yeah.
yeah. um I feel like I'm to the age where I feel so uncool to kids. Like when I was a kid, 37 was old. Um 40 is supposed to be over the hill. I really feel like it needs to be changed to 50 because 40 these days especially feels so young. Um but like I feel like now I've unlocked the secret society of actual adulthood where like we actually know we're cool. And I think about when you're younger and you see movies with college students and you think, wow, they're so mature. Like those college
Yep.
students, look at them studying in the library and then like they go out on dates and like they go to parties and they're, studying to become some crazy profession of whatever. And now it's like college students, what children? They're kids. It's
Oh, so
crazy.
along that same line, so like fresh into the Marine Corps, 18 years old, I was in charge of my sergeants who were like 22 to 24. And I'm like, wow, they're so smart. And I'm like, when I was that age, one, I was out of the Marine Corps by then. I was just like, oh my God, I was an idiot. But it's like, these are the
Same.
people that I would go to, not just for advice at my job, but advice at life. Where I'm just like, hey, I have this problem. And they're like, well, this is what you do. And looking back at it, I'm like, that was horrible advice. They're just like, yeah, getting advice from a 23-year-old alcoholic. I'm just like, that was a great idea.
Yeah. It's like
But
rewatching
also,
episodes of
good at their
Friends.
job. I said also they were good at their jobs. So there's that for it.
Yeah. What does it take to become a sergeant?
Um, so you get through the first three ranks pretty easily, and you'll just pick those up by being in for a requisite amount of time, and then don't get in trouble. And then to pick up corporal, which is the first NCO rank, you have to basically just do these seven distance learning packets called MCIs for Marine Corps Institutes, and that gives you extra promotion points. And
Okay.
then your rifle range score and your PFT, which is physical fitness test score, go towards it's called a cutting score, and the fucking math formula gives you your number. And then whatever your MOS is, you'll get like they'll just designate a certain number of people like that they want to pick up that rank,
Hmm.
and so then they'll just find the top seven scores and like whatever is that number and above, they'll be like, this is the cutting score number, and that's who's going to pick up rank.
Okay.
And yeah,
Hmm. Is it easy to get in trouble? Like, how do you get in trouble?
yes but no. So like there's you're subject to regular US laws but also military laws, and that's where it starts getting really gray because they can hit you with something called Article 15, which is just a catch-all thing. Like it's something stupid. Like this is a serious thing. If you get a sunburn, they can charge you with damaging government property.
Holy cow.
But you have to really piss them off to get that sort of treatment.
Okay.
Like, that's
Wow.
one of those things where they're just like, you're an idiot and a shithead. You've been in trouble a million other times before, and they're just looking for things to smack you with.
Yeah.
But like, as long as like you're pretty squared away, um, you're not a total idiot. You show remorse when you do things wrong. Like, like you're a normal human.
Hmm.
Um, and you have good leadership. Like they'll look out for you if you have like a few small missteps.
Okay.
And they'll be like, we'll take care of this. And but if they start seeing a pattern, they're not going to clean up after you anymore, and they're going to just let you out to hang.
So it's like, do people go like get in trouble on purpose, or like how much free time do you have?
It's a normal job. So like my job, which was aircraft maintenance,
Mhm.
I had a normal shift that I would work. So I worked a night crew. So it was Sunday night at like 4 p.m. till it varied. Sometimes it was midnight. Sometimes it was 2 in the morning. Sometimes I'd day crew at 7 o'clock the next morning. It just really varied. And sometimes there would be like a swing shift that would start at midnight if like we knew there was going to be things where it was going to last to the next morning.
Okay.
Uh, but like day crew would be like 7 in the morning till five at night with like a pass down between shifts, and there would also be PT in the morning for them. So they'd, you know, do their physical exercise. It's a normal job in a uniform with a very wonderful brainwashing at the beginning.
What do you mean by brainwashing?
Oh, like boot camp, they take you out, they reprogram you, like you come out like halfway robotic. And it's very interesting because a lot of people think like who haven't been in that it's like a lot of yelling and like you're learning like all sorts of intense stuff. You're learning how to wear the uniform and you're learning the history of the Marine Corps.
So like what makes it brainwashing?
Um, so everything you do during the 3 months that you're there, you're
And this is for boot camp?
learning. Yes, this is for boot camp. You're learning and reciting Marine Corps history and lore. So
Okay.
like the other joke about the Marine Corps is that it's a cult.
Okay.
And it is. Because like you come out like pretty much uh acting like cult people where it's just like I love the Marine Corps is the best, or the Marine Corps did this on this date, and because like these people did this and I am also a Marine, I also did this. It's just like it's kind of wild. It's also kind of fun too because it is a cult. So, if you realize this, you can start messing with the other cult members, which is a really fun thing to do once you become self aware inside the cult. And then other people become self aware too. And that's when it starts getting really fun. But that doesn't happen for about 2 years for the brainwashing where you go, hey, wait a minute.
Hmm. Do some people stay in that mindset like always?
Yes. Yes, and those are like the veterans who like give the rest of the veteran community the bad name, where it's just like, the joke is like they go to Applebee's and ask for the veteran discount like every day and like, stuff like that. And like they still have the haircut, they still act like it. And it's like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
That was a small portion of your life. Like, think of it like the same thing where it's just like I peaked in high school, except I peaked in this thing that I chose to do.
Yeah. Hmm.
And now I want everyone's love and attention for it.
Which like a civilian would like never I feel like a civilian would never like speak down like on anyone, but it seems like any other cult or group or where there's some people that go so hardcore and then some people who don't and who make other choices and um so not all veterans are the same.
No, no, they're not. It's you. So I thought of it before like this is that if you take America as a whole, and we're going to go right back to food analogies here. America as a whole is like, let's say, a whole pepperoni stick.
Hmm.
If you were to take like a thin slice, that is like a good representation of like the active duty military people at any given point in time. Like, there's variations in it. There's different pieces and colors that you can see. Some of it's got spicy parts. There's an outer casing, there's inner parts. Like, there's different things once you like actually examine it. But it's like a slice, it's a representation. But if you were to just look at it from like 5, 10 feet away, you'd be like, that is a piece of pepperoni. And
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Like, from a distance, it's all the same thing. As soon as you get closer, there's variations in everything.
Yeah. That's a good analogy.
Yeah, it took me a while to think of that one, like it's many years. And also because I like salamis and pepperonis. So,
It's making me hungry again. I'm just eating candy.
well, I feel ya. It's dinner time for me too.
Hmm.
So, would you like to call this for the day? And if you're ever feeling like you'd like to come back on again, you are more than welcome.
I like Wonton Wednesday.
You're
I feel
welcome.
like
Like, hey, next Wednesday, go get yourself some anything that you can loosely describe as a pillow food or wonton.
I think that's like what was missing is we should be like sitting here eating pillow food. I should have planned my dinner around
Yes.
this.
And honestly, when I went to the grocery store after work before this, I was walking through the frozen aisles trying to find pierogies. I'm like, what is wrong with Alaska where there's no fucking pierogies?
That's sad.
I know, but it's also to be expected. Couldn't even grab Mrs. T's.
Yeah. What I do have, I have dumplings in the freezer.
Ling Lings?
Dumplings.
Yeah, Ling Ling. It's a branded dumpling.
Ling Ling. Oh, yeah, it totally is. I don't know if they're
Yeah.
lings though. They could be. There's a chance.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
Sweet.
Wonton Wednesday. How does it feel to make it through
I like it.
one?
I like it. That was
Good.
fun. There's some of that
Good.
stuff I haven't talked about in a long time. I feel like I learned some things.
Me too. That's the second time I learned something today. The first one was really disturbing.
What was it?
Yeah. Um, so the Iditarod dog sled race. So it
Yeah.
starts tomorrow. I'm gonna go see the ceremonial opening that they have. So it's just the ceremonial one.
Yeah.
And so one of the guys that I work with was telling us because I think he said his cousin is a vet up here somewhere, um, and like works the northern end of the Iditarod.
Okay.
So it starts with 12 to 14 dogs, and to officially finish, you have to finish with no less than four. And so what he was saying is like, so yes, there is vet stations, and I think you already know where this is going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
so if a dog doesn't make it and they don't want to put it on the sled as extra weight, and that's why PETA is against the Iditarod.
Got it.
Yes, I'm like, I did not know that or see that coming.
Yeah,
Because
I
all I
didn't.
knew is that those dogs love to run.
Yeah. Yeah, I've learned a
Yeah,
lot about the Iditarod, like just over the course of my life, but yeah. Hmm.
I know. It's sad to think about. Don't think about it.
I won't.
Go.
I'm gonna go back to thinking about pillow food.
I was going to say pizza, but that works too.
Yeah, pillow food and or pizza. I gotta make something. I gotta make something for dinner number two, and I gotta make something for the
If
dinner
you
number.
fold a pizza over, it's a pillow food.
Yes, calzone
Yes, that's listed on there.
pillow food.
All right. Well, um, logical endpoint. And do you have any closing thoughts, words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom. Oh man, stay hydrated. Don't worry about high
It's a good
school.
one.
Um, eat more pillow food. Do big things.
Yes, I agree with all of that. All right, ma'am. We have a lovely day and a pleasant tomorrow, and enjoy your dinner.
Thank you. You
I will.
too. See you later for more
All
one.
right. Bye.
Bye.